problem you need to take care of. And the Lord takes it patiently, which is an example, I thought, at least to me, if not to anybody else. So we've read this. Now we're going to jump over to Mark, because Mark tells this story in a little more detail than either Matthew or Luke. So here's what Mark says. And behold, one of the rulers of the synagogue. So we find it last in Matthew just said a ruler. This is one of the rulers of the synagogue came, because they had several rulers of the synagogue usually. One of the rulers of the synagogue came, Jairus by name, and when he saw him, that is Jesus, he fell at his feet and begged him earnestly, saying, "My little daughter lies at the point of death. Come and lay your hands on her, that she may be healed, and she will live." So Jesus went with him, and a great multitude followed him and thronged him. Okay, so we find out who it is. It's one of the rulers of the synagogue. So not a Roman ruler, but he's a Jew. He's a ruler of the synagogue, one of them. And his name was Jairus. And he fell at Jesus' feet. And I think I mentioned last week that the sense in the Greek, at least according to Dr. Vincent of Vincent's Word Studies, the sense in the Greek is very much that of Jairus being flurried and frantic and almost a little incoherent. That you come, that she live. He's just blurting out phrases almost. So he's very agitated. He is apparently, some of the Gospels say she has just died. Others say she's at the point of death. I think Matthew said she's just died. Mark says she's at the point of death. Jairus probably said both. And as he's kind of blurting and babbling this out, I can imagine Jairus being there at his daughter's bedside and becoming increasingly distraught as she's dying. And then, as things are getting very bad, someone comes in and says, "I just heard Jesus is in town. He's over so-and-so place." And Jairus, probably going out the door at quite a clip, just as his daughter is expiring, just as she's at the point of death, she's dying, she's probably just dying right there, and he's headed out as hard as he can pelt, and he's got to get to Jesus. So, by the way, this is another theme of kind of this chapter and of today's lesson. People who just had to get to Jesus. And so Jairus did, just felt like he had to get to Jesus, and he did, and he got there, and he fell down, he worshiped him, and he begged him to come. So Jesus went with him. And this is, the verb tense there is just, he just went. That was it. He went away with him. He took off with him right away. So Jesus didn't dally or dither there, but Jairus needed help right now, and Jesus went right with him. But then he said, a great multitude followed him and thronged him. But this, I read, again, I'm not a Greek scholar. I know of the Greek what I read in books that are written in English by people who know the Greek. And Dr. Vincent said that the verbs here, followed and thronged, are continuous. They were following him and they were thronging him, or they kept on following him, they kept on thronging him. So he couldn't get away from this crowd. That's another aspect sometimes of busy and hassled days when one problem comes at us. And I suppose professors, by the way, are probably not the only people who have that. Engineering supervisors, pastors, hardware or software engineers and so forth may have that. And if someone comes to you with, "I have this urgent problem, it needs to be dealt with right away," and then as you're still dealing with that, or maybe you've just gotten done and hardly have taken a breath, and someone else comes up, you've got to deal with this problem right away. Away goes Jesus, and sometimes is it the previous problem or just the overall surrounding atmosphere of busyness will not let up. They keep on following him and they keep on thronging him. And now maybe this is, again, just me speaking as an introvert and a pretty extreme introvert, although most people in my family, except possibly Mary, may be more introverted than I am. I tell people this, who meet me, and this is, "You mean you're the most extroverted one in your family?" And well, almost, yeah. Oh, that's scary. But only extroverts say that. normal people realize how normal it is to be introverted. But anyway, I think I may be speaking to a few other introverts here. But anyway, for an introvert, there is a emotional energy cost to being with crowds of people. Not that you don't like it, not that you don't want to be that way. The last, goodness, how long has it been? 7 weeks. I've spent mostly up in my bedroom / office, going from the bed to my office chair to the bed to my, ice my foot back. And Leah has been nice to come up and keep me company out of them, but she has things she has to do, and so she's usually doing her things downstairs, and I'm up there, and even an introvert like me starts to, even get lonely a little bit. But so introverts